This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everyone. I just got back from the gym. Like seriously, I don't have an excuse not to go, and it's only about maybe 800 feet up the road. Great place, big and everything. And I'm sure many of us go to the gym. Have you been to the mental gym? Yes, the mental gym. We are going to talk about that today, and I guess maybe do some reps. I'm thinking. I don't know. She's a strategic development coach, and she's our trainer for today. Cindy Valente is with us once again. How are you doing?
I am good, Stephen. You?
I'm going to be honest and say I haven't been, to my knowledge, to the mental gym that often. Probably can tell. What is the mental gym?
So the forgotten brain muscle is your brain. Why do we boast about going to the gym, but we don't boast about going to read a book for an hour? Both are equally important.
It's a really good point. We do boast about, okay, this is a great point.
Right?
I write commitments down weekly. I think I shared them with the men's group, and they hold us accountable. Hey, did you do your commitments? What do I write every single week just to make sure I do it? 4 times workout, at least an hour a pop. Have I written down, well, I'm going to spend an hour with that book? No.
Right. But it's as valuable.
Yeah.
So here's some mental discipline exercise. Mental toughness is like physical endurance. Small daily challenges build willpower and true grit, which I like. I like that word. That means so much. It's a small word, means a lot. And regulating our emotions is a brain workout too. That's a tough one. Controlling your emotions differently than you would on a daily basis. Think, problem solve instead of just reacting like you normally do. Come up with a different way to resolve your emotions. It takes you in a different place and it makes you think, all right, I can do this, but I've got to go over here to do it instead of just lashing out or however we all do. We all deal with our emotions.
Yes. And it's interesting how if you go to the gym, and I was doing tries today, and I added another 5 or 10 pounds. I was like, I'm actually doing this. It's all right. Was challenging, but not unreasonable. But I've never, hit that weight. And I'm not like a gym rat or anything like that. Just trying to stay in shape, lose a couple of pounds. But when it comes to the mental gym, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I've found that without me even knowing it, I'm more intentional about dealing with situations like emotions, like you just said. And I'll share real quick because this is in real time and it's what we're talking about. Had a challenge late last week related to business, a couple of side things I'm working on, and somebody I'm working on it with. And we seeing things a little differently. And in the conversation, I could feel myself, and this is me. This is chill. This is it. I felt myself like, bro, you're not getting it. You're not seeing the big picture. And now I'm seeing your vision of something. It's not my vision of something. And I'm detecting we may need to make some changes. And I stopped the conversation, and it was all good mutually. And I sat on it. And giving it time made it come clear, made the direction come clear. And I'm going to circle back to it later today. I've gated a few days, and I feel that, I did the right thing. We
talked about that last week, actually. Stopping, taking a break, taking a breath. It's okay to pause and think about your answer.
After we talked about that, this took place 2 days after that.
That's awesome.
And so here's my takeaway. when you're in the throe of emotion, dealing with a
Mhm.
situation, and you haven't exercised at the mental gym that often to know about this, um, you can't you can't regulate. It's like you're driving drunk. Not that you ever would, but I'm just saying it, you're screeching all over the road. You can't even really get a fix on what's going on. You get you practice the power of the pause.
Mhm.
Now it's clear. Like I really have clear direction that I sort of did then last week, late last week, but not like I have now. It makes a big difference. Is this all part of,
It does.
going to the mental gym?
Yeah, totally. I mean, so here's another good one. Mental flabbiness. Nobody wants a lazy brain. Gives you lack of indecision, lack of focus, lack of memory issues. Nor does any one of us want to have a lazy body, lacking energy, movement, strength, and vitality. So that kind of brings it back to your gym visit. So
Mm,
you were not just going to the gym, you were also getting rid of your mental flabbiness,
mm.
changing it up. Did you change what your workout was? Did you do so you did heavier weights, so you changed it up. So that's see it right there. You're right in the thick of it all.
Mm. So, how do we exercise our minds? I guess.
So here's some good challenges for ourselves, for all of us. Mental reps, like push-ups for the body. For me, I like to come up with the same sounding word spelled differently. I know that sounds weird, but I do that all the time.
How do you mean?
So I'm trying to think one word sounding the same spelled differently.
They, their, that kind of thing?
Correct.
Okay.
Sort of, yeah. I can't think. I should have thought about that first.
But
I
what do
don't
you
have
do
an
with
answer
it?
to that.
Like you pick a word and what's going on there?
I just come up with as many as I possibly can.
Okay. So you challenge
I mean,
yourself to,
right. I challenge myself to, well, there's this, and there's that. And I was thinking about writing a book on that, but I'm sure it's been done a million times. But that's kind of where I go to. And, a lot of people can go to solving puzzles, doing math in your head.
hmm. Do you find that once you start exercising up there, that it starts getting easier and faster? Like if you haven't really used your brain to problem solve in a while, it's a slow roll. But then once you get going, then it's like, oh yeah, that was easier. Oh, that's it. Oh yeah, that was fun actually. Okay, yeah.
Right. You do have to consciously think about it
Mm,
because we all revert back to the way we always do things. It's like going to the grocery store. And when I go to the grocery store, I can go to the same aisles, I pick the same food. Even though I want something different, I end up getting the same things. It's just habit. But changing it up. I mean, are we training our brain or are we coasting? And I had to think about this a lot because when we're talking, we already know the information. But when we listen, we learn. And same with when we are quiet, we're learning, like reading.
mm,
So that meant a lot to me because I thought, it's true. When I'm talking, I already know what I'm talking about. But when I'm listening, I always learn. Doesn't matter what you're learning, but you're learning something different when somebody else is sharing with you or you're reading a book. And just staying quiet in your mind to get a different focus. I think it's very valuable.
agreed. Yeah. It that's why I love people's stories.
Right.
That's why I share mine
Exactly.
with my situation last week.
Right.
Because I find there's a takeaway. You share something, it's like, oh, I didn't see it that way. Oh, all right.
Mhm. And then what about a food fast, not a food fest, a food fast is to our bodies what brain fasting or silence. They are both just as powerful.
Hmm.
Mental nutrition.
So I can address that, if I may, in a conversation in that men's group I'm in. We were speaking with somebody who said, and she had some challenges, like really brilliant person. and just like full of energy. And he was going through some challenges, and somebody said, "Did you ever just sit in silence?"
Right.
And he thought about it. I was like, "No." And all of us said, as soon as possible, that's what you need to do.
Right.
Just quiet, just think,
Mhm.
no distractions whatsoever. And I think that's in line with what you just said.
It's very valuable. You don't, but you have to think about it. It's a mindset. You've got to remember to do these things because we're so packed in with instant gratification. We got to have it right now. We got to have the answer right now. Somebody's waiting on it, timelines, deadlines, and it is really just valuable to go just sit back and take it all in. And it's I mean, learn a new word, is another challenge. Brush your teeth with the opposite hand. I actually tried it this week because I knew I was going to be talking about it. It is hard to do because I'm predominantly right-handed, so I was starting to brush my teeth with my left hand, and then halfway through, I'm back using my right hand, and I thought, so it's a change, but it's interesting where how we just are all so fixed on our habit, and we're
Mm,
not utilizing our brain to its capacity. We stretch our bodies in the gym or outside any kind of exercises. We stretch it, we change it up, but how are we changing our mind to get that the right side of the brain not always working so hard and getting the left side checked in and crossing over?
mm. I'm actually looking forward to doing that. I really am.
Yeah,
And
it's easy.
I bet you, use the opposite hand to brush your teeth. I bet you probably hit areas in within your gums and your teeth that you probably never
Oh,
hit
there's that
before.
too.
Yeah. Well, why not? Hmm.
Yeah,
These are things that I would have never thought of when we talk about the emotional, I'm sorry, the mental gym. Like I would have never, considered that, but that
right,
is challenging your brain, your mind when you
right.
just simply switch hands.
I mean, think about when you sit down to watch a TV show, Netflix, whatever, however you watch, change it up. So if you like to watch, murder mystery, which I know is super popular, what about watching a documentary?
Mm,
Or
yeah.
if you like rom-coms, go to murder mystery, change it up. Because it does create, first of all, different emotions because you're taking your place somewhere, your brain where it maybe hasn't visited for a while. And, it's really I found this all very fascinating.
Mm. Oh, I love that. And I kind of do that. You have the usual suspects that you gravitate to, be it a series or a certain genre. But I find myself, I love documentaries. I'll love a drama, and I'll go back and
Right.
forth in between them. Um, and I get involved. Like if something's going down, I'll get emotionally connected to it. I'm being serious. Like
Right. Oh, yeah, we
yeah,
all do, I
yeah.
think.
Hmm.
Brain fuel. Feed your brain like you feed your body. Not just healthy food, but quality content.
Hmm.
Mine
Uh,
is salmon because I know it's good for my brain and it's good for my body. But I don't change that up. That's something I do all the time. What's yours?
um, high quality fish oil.
There you go.
I don't eat seafood, but I've heard for 2 decades that fish oil, but the good stuff, and you pay a
Right.
little bit more, but it's pure, it's potent, um, is good for your mind. And I've actually experienced it. If I didn't take it for a while, then I got back on it. I think clearer. My
Mhm.
skin looks better. Just saying.
Right.
Um,
Yep.
that's what I heard, but it's actually
Yeah.
true.
Yep.
You can see the difference, but yeah, just for me, I feel it makes a difference. And I guess salmon, you're getting it from that as well.
Right. I
Hmm.
just love salmon. So
Yeah, I should. I need to get on that train. I just was never, had a bad experience when I was in my 20s with seafood and never
that's
looked
it.
back. Got to get back there.
All seafood.
Yeah, well, when you make the cut, you make the cut. It
True.
happened. It happened. What else
How
should we
about
look at here? Hmm?
How about we exercise our brains and relationships? Communication and empathy. These mental muscles keep relationships strong.
Hmm.
Relationship curiosity keeps love from going on autopilot.
Yeah.
And with intention, our relationships thrive when we show up on purpose. It seems so simple.
It does, but it goes back to what you said before, that we gravitate toward what's comfortable or the routine because that's what our brain expects. Give me the same thing. Everything will be fine.
Right.
I'll keep you safe. We're all good. But with that comes no growth. Same thing when you exercise your
Right.
body at the gym and you do the same stuff over and over again. They even say they call it muscle memory. Your muscles know,
Right.
whatever, unless you do something different, raise the weight, change the number of reps, you're not going to really
Right.
see any progress.
Right. That's true. I mean, when I'm in a visiting a place that has a lot of stairs outside. So on my walks that I like to take, I'm going up the stairs sideways. That is really challenging. So you put you like your right foot, then you cross your left. It's very challenging, but it's making me think because I have to hold the railing so I don't trip and fall when I'm
That
going
is
up.
like
But
actually a really cool idea. I never even thought of that. Yeah, I gotta try that. Even at
yeah,
home, when you're not holding somebody up. If you're on like a public stairs and you go sideways, you might people are waiting. Um,
right, right.
but that definitely makes you use your mind as to the next step, the next step, the next step. Be
Right,
safe, right?
right.
Hmm.
Yep.
Wow. Feed
It
me
is very
more.
challenging.
Feed me more. What do you got?
All right, rest and recovery. We all need that, right?
Mm,
Brains need recovery time too, just like we need mental breaks, physical breaks. So something I do with that is I love country music. So I turn on the 80s country because it's a softer sound
mm.
and I just shut my brain off. It's not a meditation because I don't really know how to meditate. I've tried, but it's just takes you away from the stress, the chaos, whatever's going on in your day.
Mm.
Just take a step back. It doesn't need to be for an hour. Just take a break. What's your break?
Eddie Rabbit was so underrated.
That's true.
I'm serious. We talk about 80s country.
Yep.
Um, and I bet, if he put out something now, I think it probably would resonate. He was good. That's my opinion. Um,
Tell me, I forget the name. I know what song you're thinking of. I just can't
oh,
think of the
he did a
words
bunch
to
of
it.
them. Well, he did Crystal
Well,
Gale, Just You and I, right? Then he
yeah,
did
Crystal Gale was good.
I Love a Rainy Night.
Love the rainy nights. Yep.
Yeah,
And
I
that's
think
another
that.
thing. Just sit and listen to the rain.
Yeah, there is something magical about that.
There is. This morning I woke up and it was actually raining, which it normally does where I'm at. And I thought, I'm just opening the window, turning my phone off, gonna just drink my coffee. And so that was also my little form of meditation. But it was so quiet. And I thought, yeah, I'm just gonna plan my day, and just change it up. But it is hard. It is really hard to remember to change it up like anything else. It's just practice.
Mm.
How do you want to show up for your day?
I get you on the meditation thing. All I'm going to suggest is don't give up on it and focus on something. I was at the gym a couple of weeks ago and I had extra time. So I was like, I'm going to, just make this fun. And I'm just listening to music in my headphones. And I focused on a bolt on a machine. And I felt like I was transported someplace else. It was just a weird, fun experience in that moment. And I believe I was definitely meditating. And I find what's working for me is when I wake up first thing in the morning, I don't jump out of bed. And, my dog sometimes will be staring me in the face like, we got to go now. I'm like, lay down.
Right.
We got 15 minutes. I'm looking at the clock. You're not. And that's where I'll start to meditate. Like I'll just have thoughts. I'll just, sometimes I'll fall back to sleep, but I'm getting into a zone of where it's just like peaceful, deep thinking, mess with it. And one day it just hit me like, dude, you're meditating. Oh, I did it. All right. and then just, rinse and repeat. Is it the same experience every time? No. But
Right.
it is profound. Side note, kind of funny. I was at a retreat last year and they said, all right, we're going to take some time, just, do whatever you want to do, meditate if you want. And we'll get back online with everything in a moment. I'm in a room with like 300 people and I started meditating. So I'm just closing my eyes. I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh, this is great. Peaceful. Feels like I'm on vacation. I was in California actually. And unexpected, they got on the PA system and started talking. And I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's good. You were able to go escape. That's awesome.
Yeah,
What
but I needed to know when I was done because I must have looked
right.
like I was having a spasm at that moment to the other people around me. Um, but I want what you're saying there, the downtime is so important. It makes
Yeah.
such a difference. It's needed.
It does. And like I said, I try to meditate, but all I do is get frustrated. I'm like, I can't meditate, I can't meditate. And then I try to go do something else. So that's why I just try to take my quietness in the morning, even if my brain is going, 100 miles a minute, but it's still, I guess that's my style of meditation. I guess there is no right way, but
Absolutely.
um,
Mm.
but I got to
If
work on that. Got
if
to
you feel
shut the
peaceful,
brain off.
if you feel peaceful and it's attaining the goal, it doesn't matter what you're
Hmm.
doing.
That's true. That's true. I got to remember that when I'm like, I can't meditate.
Yeah.
All right. So why does any of this matter in the game of life? It's not just about surviving. It's about showing up strong, focused, and present. When both are trained and tuned, you're not just going through life, you're playing to win.
Mm.
We
Those
all
three
like to win.
words, those three words say everything. Strong.
Playing to win. Right.
Well,
Yep.
plain wins, yeah, for sure.
Right. Right.
Strong, focused, and present.
Yep.
They really say it all.
Hmm.
When you're dissecting and looking at those words, the being present is so important. That was one of my lessons in recent life. Um, and strong and just the intention that you put into what you're doing um, makes a big difference. It really does.
And don't we all want all of these things? I mean, I'm putting all these thoughts together and I thought, gosh, it really is that simple. If we just take the time to bring it into our daily lives and not just react,
Mm.
but to act on our own intentions.
And the focus is key. Like if you don't have focus and clarity, you can't deal with any situation. And I believe
Right.
if you're not doing the things that we're talking about, you're not going to have that.
Right. You'd be distracted.
You can be distracted, right? Can you, when you work with somebody, help them with the mental gym? Can you be the trainer?
I can't be the trainer because I think because I like to work out. I haven't in a while. That's something I need to change up. I need to get back to that. But if you can bring both aspects stop, calm yourself down. You don't need to be doing 100 jumping jacks. Just sit down and think about what are your intentions? What do you want to happen? And bring your mind into it, bring your body into it, and put it together like your cross training, basically.
Mm.
And I think that's it's we've all done or seen somebody do CrossFit and they change up how they're working out. Every day is different and it's fun, it's exciting because it's new and different. And same with your brain. If you just start thinking about things that are not always comfortable for you, or that are comfortable for you, but take avenues, be branch out from your typical daily pattern. And and also, where's the person at? Where do they want to go? Where's their mindset at? Are they stuck? Let's get unstuck. How are we going to get unstuck? You got to change what you're doing. If you don't change what you're doing, you don't change.
That I'm going to remember as if, along with everything else, you don't change what you're doing, you don't
Well,
change.
if nothing changes, nothing changes.
Yeah, it's so obvious, but these are the
Right, it
things we
is.
forget because
Right.
why? We're on the treadmill of life, doing the same
Mhm.
thing every day and not even challenging our
Right.
minds. Yeah.
Right. And the same with treadmill. You can walk sideways on a treadmill
You can go backwards.
backwards.
You can jog fast and then slow down and then
Right.
bring it back up again 30 seconds later. And they say that's actually the best workout.
That is correct.
What do you say?
Yep.
Yep. To connect with you, to maybe start the mental fitness journey, if you will. It's just your name, right? CindyValente.com?
CindyValente.com. Yep. All my sites are on there. And until next time, keep your mind sharp, keep your heart open, your life intentional, and always remember, just be it with Cindy Valente.
Love it. Cindy, by the way, is Cindy. Valente is VALENTE.com. Thank you for today. Looking forward next time we get together.
Thank you. Yep. Have a great week.
You too. Have a great stay where you are.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's good so far.
Yeah, go work out.
Yeah, I need to because I haven't yet today. So I got to go get on the stairs and go sideways.
Or go work out your mind. Just as good.
And I do that when I'm working out.
Beautiful. All right. We'll catch up soon.
Talk to you later.
Back. This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.